Hi, welcome to Make or Repair. This is my Sage Oracle coffee machine, and I haven't had a cup of coffee today because it's got a fault. In fact, it's had a fault for about 3 months, and I have ordered what I believe was the right spare part. This is the three-way valve. I'll pop it on the top here so you can see it better. It controls the flow of coffee through the coffee outlet and the hot water outlet. It comes in a kit with some O-rings and things like that. So everything that I need should be just in that kit. I'll put the links in down below. So I kind of was suspecting it was going wrong because I was hearing this kind of clicking, vibrating noise, not the one from the pump, but a sort of higher pitched one. I kind of thought that sounds a bit like it might be a valve not actuating properly. And it just got worse over time. Sometimes it wouldn't dispense enough coffee. And then it got to the point where every time I needed to do a coffee, I would have to press that hot water button in order to kind of get this thing working. It was a bit of a giveaway that it's probably this. Now, there could have been other things. There could be a problem with the pump, with the electronics and things like that. And last night, I pressed my coffee dispensing button, confidently expecting coffee to come out, and hot water came out the hot water spout instead. So we've got a coffee dispenser here, and then behind it, there's a hot water spout hidden away. And that's kind of a dead giveaway, and I couldn't persuade it to dispense my coffee. This is an early morning video that I'm shooting because I need my cup of coffee. So let's get on with the three-way valve. So there's just 4 screws that we need to take out. 2 hidden under here are Phillips. So Phillips had 2 for the little soft tappers. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to release, if I can. Yeah, I think they're already drained. Just want to make sure that the boiler isn't completely full of water there, because otherwise it's going to be all over my bench in a minute. I'll turn this around. So for those interested, the screw sizes, the front 2 that I've just taken out are Phillips head 2s, and the back 2 here, these are Torx 20s. Yeah, so normally I take this back panel off completely. Okay, so you don't in theory need to take this back panel off, but I just find it a bit easier. It helps this thing slide out the way more readily. So just here, this is the device that we want to deal with. So you can see that it's got a rubber tube going onto the top, just cable clipped on, some cables running nearby, and generally just a mess of things in the way, but hopefully you can kind of see it fairly clearly there. We're literally going to unscrew that, pop a new one in. And I am going to cut a couple of these cable clips just to give me better access. As you're doing this, of course, just check there's no perishing of the actual rubber tubes themselves or anything like that. The original cable clips do become quite brittle. So I'm just going to encourage it very gently with a screwdriver just under its bottom edge, just to help it lose its vacuum a bit. And there she goes. Excellent. This has actually got a spring down the centre of it. Let's get this one to just hook out the way a bit, so I've got a bit more access. There we go. So we've got white on this side, yellow on this side. The reason I'm saying this out loud is so that I can watch the video back and remember where they went. So looking down here, I can say I've got 4 Phillips screws. They're all Phillips 2s, I reckon. And they are slightly occluded by the body. I'm not going to risk lifting the whole thing off with the screws because I don't want to lose them. I'm just taking the screws out with some tweezers to make sure I don't drop any. And although the body of the solenoid does just get in the way a little bit of the screws, it's not so bad you can't just get in there with a normal size screwdriver. So fingers crossed. Perfect. Okay, so here's the original, and we can see it's got built-in little nylon or Teflon. So yeah, on this one, it has these tiny little tubes with the seal on the other side. Here's my replacement. Essentially the same thing. Yep, same voltage, same series, same coil code. Good, everything looks good to me. This one was built in week 18 of 2018, and this one is week 39 of 2025. Now, whereas that one had its own built-in seals, this one needs O-rings. I don't want to use anything abrasive on here, I just want to be sure that I'm going to make a nice safe contact. So the new one just sits in place. Let's just get this first screw in. I'm just going to put this in very, very loosely to begin with, because I just wanted to get it in the hole. So I'm not fastening that down tight. I still got plenty of movement in the thing. This helps me to line things up for the more tricky ones. I'm just going to go in there with a slightly smaller screwdriver. Just an extra millimetre of clearance with this smaller screwdriver, just to get things started. And just like when you're putting into plastic, go backwards to find the thread. Excellent. So let's get those tightened up. Cables reinstalled. That one's not bright, is it? Just going to tighten that one up a little bit. I don't like that one. The others are okay, they're hanging on nice and tight, but this one's very relaxed. It's better. You do not want a loose cable on there. This, of course, just pushes right back on, and then we need a cable tie. So obviously just make sure this sits into on here. You can see there's kind of like a little flange on the top, and then groove, a lower portion, and then another flange on the bottom. So make sure your cable tie is sitting in the center of that. Make sure it's tight. And that should be it. So I'm going to reassemble this now and give this a go. That's it. It's in. Beauty. Right. Let's just double check with these cables here, this bundle, to just make sure that it doesn't rub against the cog of the grinder. It's not actually a moving cog, it's just the one that's used for adjustment, but even so, it still shouldn't be rubbing against it. And that slips in here, that slips in here. Okay, now it's just a case of doing up all the screws. And there we have it. A nice positive click, and coffee is dispensing nicely. And yes, of course, I've tested the hot water too. So I hope that helps some of you. Links below, but don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment, of course. And if you tick the little notification bell, you'll find out when I do further videos. So see you soon. Bye for now.